So why do we sometimes print a print and it comes out perfect, and the next time it comes out horrible looking like this one? Well, let's find out. Well, hello and welcome to this Fotospeed video with me, Tim Jones. Today I'm going to be looking at Mac computers and specifically the latest update from Mac, but this problem has been going on for a good couple of years now, but it seems more prevalent in this latest update that's happened, the Ventura update. Now, I did a video a few months ago about how Ventura is actually fine to print. I've got my computer set up next to me and screen recording and things so you guys can see what I'm doing. It's a Mac Mini and it's an M2 version. And I've got Ventura installed to the latest version and things like that on there. So basically what I wanted to do was show you how we could kind of go from this horrible pink here that sometimes happen. It could be green, it could be blue, but the colors could go really wacky and horrible. Now, this is even after we've profiled, we calibrated the screen and things. So it's nothing actually to do with the profiles and things. It's actually to do with the printer driver, but I'll show you that in a minute. But hopefully when we get them installed and kind of working as they should, we should get some lovely prints coming off, obviously with the free custom profiles we offer here at Fotospeed as well. Before I dive into the computer, a little bit of housekeeping. Just please subscribe to the Fotospeed YouTube channel. Just click that subscribe link at the bottom there. And also sign up to the Fotospeed newsletter on photospeed.com. So let's get into the computer and we'll actually have a look at what is actually going on when we have some horrible prints coming out of our printer. Okay, so here we are in Lightroom. And we've got this picture up that I've printed. It's just a stock image and things as I normally kind of use in these videos. So what I want to do though is I'm just going to go into the print tab and just have a look and see what's going on. So we've set all our margins up and things and everything's looking absolutely great. Now we've got our profile assigned in here. Perfect. We click on printer and we've got everything looking as it should. Big thing, Ventura, they have changed the way the print drivers work, basically. So I've got the Pro 1000 selected here, and we've got printer options, and we've got color matching, quality of media, and color options, advanced settings, and things like that. But in some cases, what we can actually see is we will have a limited driver in here as well. So it'll actually say media and quality instead of quality and media. So that can throw a little bit of a curveball to us, but it's not so much of a change that we might not kind of recognize it first of all. Color matching will also disappear as well. And this happens on the Epsons as well if you're on a Mac, because it all kind of looks the same as well in here. So if that occurs, normally we probably won't notice because all they've done is swap media and quality around and things like that. So you'll print a print and it will come out horrible and purple like the one I showed you at the start. So you think, well, what's going on? I've assigned the profile, I've done everything that I should have done. And you think, well, okay, so what is actually going on here? Well, if you go up to the Apple at the top and then go down to system settings, it used to be called system preferences. So if you're on an older Mac, this all still applies. It's just I'm seeing it a little bit more with this latest update. Apple are trying to force their generic driver called AirPrint on people, basically. So what AirPrint does is it's a driver from Apple, so it doesn't really know how your printer works. So what happens is, if you don't install the Epson and Canon drivers correctly, what happens is that, so the problem is, what happens is, when you don't install the Canon drivers correctly, Apple try and force this driver. It'll even come up and say, do you want to upload? It'll even come up with a slot that says, do you want to upgrade the driver? Always say never in that box, never click upgrade, because basically the upgrade, Apple are going to go, oh, brilliant, we can put AirPrint on here. So never do that. Okay, so the first thing we need to just check though, if the driver's kind of installed incorrectly. And I think this is the first thing. If you've got a custom profile from us or using a generic, and your prints are coming out really horrible, like really extreme, then the first thing to check would be to go into your system preferences, or in Ventura, they've started to call this actually system settings now, and then go to printers and scanners, which in Ventura is just on this slide menu here, and you can then just go down to printers and scanners. Now in here, you'll see I've got some printers, and what you do, you can just click on them and it tells you under the kind, it actually tells you that I've got the Canon driver installed and working on the Pro 1000 here. So everything should be fine. You can always check the driver version as well. Now, what can happen is these can become AirPrint devices. So they can, like this one here, which is just a general office printer, you can see here I've got AirPrint. Now, obviously this isn't a photographic printer, so that should be absolutely fine. However, if it was, that would cause you some problems. Let me show you how to properly install the printer. So at the bottom here, I've got Add Printer. You can just click that. On the older versions, you've got to click the little plus sign. Now I'm connected to the big printer just behind me here. So that is the Epson P7500. It's connected by USB, so I can select that. We just highlight it. Now, at the minute, because it's a large format machine, it actually tells me that Apple don't have a driver for this. Fantastic. But on the smaller desktop machines and things, it probably will come up with AirPrint in here for you. It will list AirPrint. Now, we don't want AirPrint installed. Even if it comes up with the printer name in this box, what we want to do is we want to go down, click on this little drop-down menu here that says Use, go down to Select Software, and then we should hopefully see the printer from the list. If you don't see it in this list like I don't, then click Cancel, and then what you have to do is you will have to go to, in this case, Epson's website, or Canon's website, depending on which printer you have. Let me just get that Add Printer out of the way. And then what we can do is just click on Support. This is the UK site. The US site looks a little bit different depending on your region and things, but there will always be a support. Both Canon and Epson do have a product search as well. So in this case, I'm just going to tap in 7500 because that's the printer I've got. And then we can scroll down and it says they found one product, fantastic. And then what we need to do is go down to drivers, which is just this one here. Click on the plus, and then we've got the driver version here, fantastic. And we'll just click download. And then that will download this driver version for us. And it will be the same if you're on a Canon or Epson. You just download the drivers. Obviously, they're just called slightly different things. Okay, so once that's downloaded, what we need to do is then start to actually install it. Okay, so when we downloaded it, what we need to do is we just need to install it. So we can just click on the actual package and then we'll just install the driver. Now this is something you will need to do. If you've got a new printer, do this first. Just get the driver installed, make it nice and easy. Go to the website, you don't have to worry about the disk or anything like that. Just go to the website, download the driver. On Windows, you download the package and it will install it all for you. On a Mac, all you really need is the driver, to be honest. Now let me just pop in my password because it will just do a little security check to just make sure I want to install that. So I'll get that installed. And then what will happen is we may need to just close down the system settings. That little beep means it's all installed. So let me just close these windows so we can then come back here. Now, I may do, let me just double check, it's not there. So what we need to do is just close our system settings and then go back in to printers and scanners here. So highlight my printer again. And now this time you'll notice it says use. Fantastic. Now, if I click add now, there is a chance it could still install as AirPrint, especially with desktop printers, which I'll show you in a second as well, that they can install as AirPrint as well. Now, I don't quite trust it either. So what I'm going to do is just remove that printer. And then I'm going to just do a proper install and take you through how to do it properly. So what we do is we click Add Printer. We then highlight the printer. We then go down to Select Software, even if it shows up here. There seems to be a little bit of a bug or something that still, in some cases, I was a bit lucky last time, but it still installs it as an AirPrint. Now, the printer you're using should actually become to the top of the list here. So you can just select the printer, click OK and click Add, and it should whir away. Depending on the speed of your computer, it can take a while and things, but there we are. There is the printer for us. Now when we go into printer, what we have is our printer options. We've got the printer selected up here from our list. And then we've also got all our lovely options here that we're used to, the papers and everything in here. Also, if you're on a Mac as well, on color matching, this should be all nicely grayed out for us. So there is one little bug and one little thing that I think we just need to talk about, especially in Ventura, because I have found that if you click on color matching just to check it's grayed out, what can happen is the Epson color controls can actually jump across to color sync. So what happens is we've got color sync and Epson color controls. It should be all turned off. But what can happen is if it jumps across to the wrong one, it will start applying profiles for us in the background. A nice way to have a look at this and to just check this isn't happening is in your print settings. On an Epson, you've got actually a color mode option. This should be all grayed out. To be honest, I haven't seen it as much on Epsons. It's usually in Canons. So let me just switch to the Pro 1000, go into quality and media. Now, here, rendering intent, this should be grayed out. There shouldn't be an option here. If there is, you can select no color correction here, and that should be okay. I say should because I have seen it in the past where it's not. So to solve this, if you click on color matching, you'll see it's actually on Canon color controls here. Usually to solve this, we might need to perhaps switch the printer to something, or we may even need to restart Lightroom or Photoshop, your chosen software, to actually solve it. So there can be a little bug there, but if you see this drop-down menu under rendering intent, it usually means you've probably clicked on color matching, and that little bug has taken effect and kind of switched the color controls for you. If I just restart Lightroom very quickly, on this computer, it doesn't really take long. They are absolutely lightning quick, I have to say. So if I click on printer now, I've got the Pro 1000, without clicking on color matching, if I go into quality of media, then you'll see it's grayed out, and that's how it should be. Another little bonus tip there. And then what we can do is just print this as normal, and we should stop having those horrible pink and blue prints. So I hope that's been helpful, because I know I do get a lot of phone calls on this as well of how to solve it. We've done the profiles, or even if you're at the profile stage and you can't turn off color management correctly, it is normally down to this AirPrint device being installed, or the driver, this generic driver from Apple. And it can cause absolute chaos on your prints, as we can see in this one here. So just have a check of it. On PC and Windows, you don't need to worry about any of this. So, as I said, I hope that's been helpful and will help you kind of solve any color issues you're having. So, as always, please don't forget to subscribe to the Fotospeed YouTube channel just at the bottom there. Also, don't forget to sign up to our newsletter on photospeed.com. And also, don't forget to download the free article that covers everything from turning on your printer to framing, bookmaking, mounting, etc. We also release a new video on the Fotospeed YouTube channel every Thursday. So again, make sure you're subscribed. And on that note, I'll see you next Thursday.